Have you ever been to a training course and got all excited about putting some new strategies in place, only to find that a few weeks later, you're back in the same routine and haven't really changed anything you thought you would? It's a common story. So today we're exploring this and what actually helps an event make an impact.
Robert Brinkerhoff, an American professor and expert in learning effectiveness and evaluation, realized there was a problem with training events. Companies routinely send employees on training programs and expect change as a result. Mostly, though, there's not that much change, though there can be a lot of money spent on training. So he set out to investigate the impact of learning and development in companies. He found very few training events were effective. In fact, less than 20% of attendees of training events applied their learning in their workplace. Of course, this is disappointing, as the goal of learning and development programs is usually to accelerate the implementation of a particular strategy to produce concrete and worthwhile results for the organization. The return on investment is only gained if participants actually apply what they learned. The goal of learning and development is not just to do great training, but to help organizations get great results from the training program.
As a result of his frustration, Brinkerhoff created the 40-20-40 model for high-impact learning. He argued that to get the full impact of learning, you need to really focus on the periods before and after the event, rather than just the event. In fact, what happens before and after the training does more to create results than the actual learning event itself. Unfortunately, most evaluations for training programs only focus on the training event itself, and not how well the attendees are using the training to get the desired results.
If you're serious about getting a good return on training investment, you need to build intentionality and alignment into the overall program and get agreement from senior management about the importance of the training program. You also need to create quality learning interventions by applying the principles of adult learning. And perhaps most importantly, you need to build in support mechanisms after the event, as learning is often fragile when it's new.
Yes, Denise, you should spend about 40% of your effort before the event focusing on the learner's needs, preparing the material, and designing relevant engagement activities. During the event, which should only take 20% of your effort, you need to focus on facilitating the learning, ensuring that all participants are engaged and are contributing, and make sure to build in suitable reflection activities too. After the event, which should take 40% of your effort, you need to help the attendees translate what they learnt at the event back into their own work situations. You may need to help them find the relevance and also provide constructive feedback.
So let's apply this to our extension situation, where we're meeting with a group of farmers over a period of time, such as with a peer-to-peer learning group. This model suggests that the first part of any meeting should involve some pre-work. This should be designed to help participants engage with the topic of the event, help them clarify what they need from the event, and prepare to get the most from it.
For the event itself, start with feedback and discussion on what has been tried, used, or done since the last group meeting. Allow time for this by including it on the run sheet. Then at the end of the meeting, make sure there is time for reflection that allows the participants to think about what they took from the discussion and what the next step looks like for them. This can help you shape the first part of the next meeting, which will start with reflection on what has happened at the previous meeting.
After the group event has occurred, encourage group discussion via things like email, social media, or whatever method your group decides is best for them. This could be as simple as sharing a photo or asking a question about how they're implementing their next step. You could also encourage group members to pair up and check in on each other to offer support.
In conclusion, if you want to get greater impact from the events you run, you need to spend twice as much effort preparing for them compared to running the event itself. And similarly, devote twice as much effort to the activities following the event. Sorry, folks, we never said it was going to be easy. Like most things, the more you put in, the more you'll get out of it. But if you're serious about getting as much impact as possible from your events, then remember the 40-20-40 model and design your events accordingly.
Well, you've heard our thoughts about increasing the impact from events. Now we'd like to hear yours. Add a comment below the blog post and tell us about your experiences, including any tips and further ideas about it. We don't want this just to be a one-way conversation, so please join in by sharing your thoughts and ideas with us.
Thanks, folks, for joining us on this Enablers of Change episode. Remember to subscribe to our newsletter if you'd like to know when new episodes are available. And if you liked what you heard, tell your friends so they too can join the conversation.
All the best until we meet again.